Good morning. I'm here with your daily horoscope for Monday, July 27th, 2026. Before we move into your science reading, a quick note on how to use this. Readings today are from your moon sign. The link below finds yours in 10 seconds. If you are new to Vedic astrology, your moon sign is your emotional nature and the true seat of the houses in your chart, so it's worth knowing. Let's ground ourselves in today's sky. We are anchoring to New Delhi. The day opens in Shukla Trayodashi, the bright 13th lunar day, which carries a quality of refinement and gentle forward motion. That Tithi runs until 16:15 this afternoon, when the lunar day shifts. Viren-Mula Nakshatra, the star of the root associated with enquiry and deep seeing. Mula ends at 10:28 this morning. So if you're planning something that needs clarity or foundation work, the early hours favor that window. Today is Monday, ruled by the moon itself, a day that naturally supports emotional attunement and inner work. Now, a few timing notes for your day. Rahu Kala, the hour traditionally considered less auspicious for new ventures, runs from 7:21 to 9:03 this morning. Nothing to fear, simply a window to handle routine tasks or reflection rather than launching something fresh. Yamagandha, another sensitive window, sits from 10:45 to 12:27. And Gulika Kala, the final sensitive period, is 14:09 to 15:51. These are gentle cautions, not prohibitions. Plan your important conversations and decisions outside these windows if you can. Vaidriti Yoga, which supports completion and closure, runs through 22:54 tonight. Now let's turn to your sign. Aries. Today the moon moves into your house of philosophy and long vision. And this shift invites you to step back from the intensity you have been holding. Yesterday, the moon opened in your house 8 and you were in a time of patient, steady effort. Now you are ready to look further ahead. Your house 9 is the realm of meaning, travel, and the bigger picture, and the moon's presence there asks you to trust the direction you are moving, even if the next step is not yet clear. Courage and quick, decisive starts are your native language, Aries, and today that courage takes a quieter form. The courage to believe in what you cannot yet see. In work and money, Mars in your house 2 keeps your resources steady and your earning instinct sharp. In relationships, Venus lights your house 5 with warmth and creative connection, a good window for deepening what matters to you. Your energy today is contemplative and grounded. Take one small action towards something you have been thinking about for weeks. Not because you need to rush, but because the moon favors gentle forward motion. If you see someone today who is struggling to find their own direction, sit with them for a few minutes and listen without trying to fix anything. That simple presence is a gift. May something small go beautifully right for you today. Taurus, Mars moves through your own sign today, bringing directness and courage into your presence. Yesterday, the moon opened in your house of partnership, and today, that directness carries forward into how you show up in the world. You are ruled by Venus, and patience and steady building are your native language, Yet right now, Mars asks you to act with clarity and move without hesitation. In work and money, Mercury in your house of resources supports practical decisions. This is a good window to review what you own and what you owe and to speak plainly about your needs. In relationships, the moon transits your house 8, the house of depth and transformation, and Saturn in your 11th casts its full aspect toward your circle of allies. You may feel called inward, and that is wise. Give yourself permission to be selective about who you confide in today. For your energy and health, know that a gentle window called Chandrashtama applies for you today and ends at 1949 tomorrow local time. This is simply a tender passage. And rest when you can. As Mars stirs your courage and the moon deepens your inner world, you're building something real beneath the surface. Today, if you meet someone who seems uncertain or alone, offer them a simple word of steadiness. Your calm presence is a gift. Carry this lightly and have a truly good day. Gemini, your gift for connection deepens today as Mercury, your ruling planet, anchors itself firmly in your own sign. Yesterday, the moon opened in your house of work and service, and that grounded clarity carries forward now. Today, the moon itself moves into your house of partnership, and you are ready for it. Curiosity and quick connection are your native language, and Mercury's strength in your own sign sharpens both right now. In work and money, Jupiter exalted in your house of resources supports steady growth. Take one small step toward a goal you have been holding. In relationships, the moon's transit into your house of partnership invites you to listen deeply to someone close to you, not to convince but to understand. Your mind is clear enough to hear what matters. In energy and health, Mars in your 12th house asks for gentleness with yourself today. Rest when you can, and let the afternoon be quieter than the morning. As the moon settles into partnership, you find yourself both more curious and more grounded than you have been. When you see someone struggling today, offer a listening ear. That gift costs nothing and means everything. The day is yours to shape. Shape it kindly. Cancer. Yesterday, the moon opened in your house of creativity and joy, bringing that rare alignment of vitality and expansion you felt then. Today, that energy settles into a different rhythm as your moon moves into your house 6, the domain of daily work and wellness. And here is what shifts for you. Your native language is care and deep intuition, and right now, those gifts are being asked to turn inward toward your own rhythms and routines. The Sun and Jupiter both hold their place in your first house, still energizing your sense of self, but now you are called to channel that vitality into the practical work of the day. In your relationships, Venus sits in your house 2, supporting what you value and what you offer to those close to you. This is a gentle window to tend to the small gestures that matter. Your energy today asks for balance. The moon in Sagittarius, as your period lord, invites you to seek meaning in the ordinary tasks ahead, to find purpose in service to your own well being and to those around you. When you move through your day, notice where you can offer a quiet kindness to someone managing their own work or health. That act of care, offered freely, is its own reward. Walk gently today and let the day come to you. Leo, your natural warmth is your superpower today, and the world is ready to receive it. Yesterday, the moon was opening your house of home and heart. Now it has moved into your house 5, the realm of creativity, joy, and what you love to express. Venus graces your first house today, bringing magnetism to how you meet the world, and that radiance is no accident. You are ruled by the sun, and warmth and natural leadership are your native language. Right now, Mars in your house 10 casts its full fourth aspect toward your creative fire, which means your professional presence carries real force. Use this to lead a project or speak up in a meeting where your voice matters. In your relationships, Venus in your own sign softens every interaction. Lean into that ease. Your energy today is high and clear. The moon in Sagittarius as your period lord keeps you optimistic and generous. If you see someone today who needs encouragement or a kind word, offer it freely. That simple act of care costs you nothing and means everything to them. May today bring you one moment worth remembering. Virgo, today asks you to turn inward and tend to what matters most at home. Yesterday brought you quiet mental clarity and purposeful words. Now, the moon has moved into your house of roots and foundation, inviting you to rest there. Your native language is precision and quiet service, and both are at work today in the spaces closest to you. In work and money, Mercury rules your house of career and sits in its own sign. Supporting steady focus on what you build, use this clarity to organize something that has been waiting. In relationships, Saturn casts its full aspect into your house of partnership, and this is not a day to push. Instead, listen deeply and let understanding grow at its own pace. In energy and health, you are called inward. The moon in your house 4 favors reflection, rest, and tending to your inner world. Step outside for a few minutes if you can, or sit quietly with something that grounds you. Today settles you into your own foundation, and that foundation is enough. If you see someone today who carries a small worry, offer them a listening ear. The gift of your attention costs nothing and means everything. Go easy on yourself today. The stars are patient, and you can be too. Libra, today asks you to turn inward and listen before you speak. Yesterday, the moon opened in your house of resources and self-worth, and we named a powerful alignment of purpose and public presence. Now the moon has moved into your house 3, the house of communication and thought, and it is traveling through Sagittarius, a sign that loves truth and breadth. This shift invites you to gather your ideas, to reflect on what you truly want to say, and to prepare the ground for connection. Balance and graceful fairness are your native language, Libra, and today that gift serves you best when you listen first. In your relationships, Venus sits in your house of community and wishes, softening the way you move among friends and allies. At work, Mercury in its own sign, in your house of learning and travel, favors research, study, and the kind of thinking that reaches beyond the immediate. Your energy today is contemplative rather than urgent. Take one conversation you have been meaning to have and let yourself ask a genuine question instead of offering an answer. When you listen to someone without the need to balance or fix, you offer them a gift that costs nothing and means everything. Wishing you a calm and steady day ahead. Scorpio, today brings a blend of introspection and outward movement. Yesterday, the moon opened in your house 1, and that quiet intensity to your inner world carries forward now as the moon moves into your house 2, the house of resources and what you hold close. You are ruled by Mars, and depth and quiet resilience are your native language, so you know how to work beneath the surface. Today, that skill serves you well. In your house of partnership, Mars casts its full 7th aspect, which means you are feeling the weight and presence of your closest relationships, and they are feeling you too. This is not a day to hide, it is a day to show up with intention. At work and in money matters, the moon in your house too asks you to tend to what sustains you, to review what you truly need and what you can release. Jupiter in your 9th casts its full 5th aspect, opening a window to learning and perspective that steadies your choices. In your energy and health, you may feel the pull between inner reflection and outer engagement, and that is exactly right for today. Honor both. When you see someone carrying something heavy, offer to help them carry it for a few steps. That small act of presence costs you nothing and means everything. Let today be simple. That is enough. Sagittarius, today the moon returns to your own sign, and with it comes a renewal of presence and clarity after yesterday's inward reflection and quiet work behind the scenes. You are stepping back into the light, into your house of self, and that matters deeply right now. Your native language is optimism and honor seeking, and today the sky supports both. The moon in Sagittarius means you are the period lord, the one holding the day's rhythm. Mercury in your house of partnership casts its full aspect there, so conversations and agreements are clear and direct. At the same time, Saturn in your 4th house casts its full 10th aspect toward your public standing, asking you to build something solid and lasting in how others see you. This is not pressure, it is an invitation to let your inner stability show. Mars in your 6th house casts its full 8th aspect, which means any work you do today carries depth and transformation. One practical step. If you have been putting off a difficult conversation or a piece of honest work, today is the day to move it forward. Your clarity is real. The renewal you feel is real. Let it guide you. May something small go beautifully right for you today. Capricorn, today brings a shift from yesterday's quiet inner work into something more relational and grounded. The moon has moved into your house of closure and rest, yet two powerful forces converge on your house of partnership. Jupiter, exalted and at full strength, casts its aspect toward you, and the sun does the same. This is not a day to hide. It is a day to show up in your relationships with clarity and warmth. You know this already. Capricorn, steady effort and long patience are your native language, and that same discipline now serves your connections with others. In work and money, Mercury in your house of service supports practical problem solving. A small task completed today builds momentum. In relationships, the dual gaze of Jupiter and Sun on your seventh house favors honest conversation and genuine presence. If there is someone you have been meaning to reach out to, today holds good energy for that reach. In your energy and health, the moon's transit into your 12th house invites you to rest deeply tonight. Honor that call without guilt. As introspection gives way to relational focus, you find your footing. One small act of care. If you know someone carrying a burden, a simple check-in costs nothing and means everything. You can explore your full birth chart free on our website, where your complete planetary picture waits. Carry this lightly and have a truly good day. Aquarius, your partnerships are asking for your presence today. Yesterday, the moon opened in your house of public life and career, and you were settling into that steady rhythm of patient effort. Now the moon has moved into your house 11, your house of community and shared vision, and Venus in your seventh house of partnership casts its full aspect toward you, drawing attention to the bonds that matter most. This is your native language, Aquarius, original thinking and quiet conviction in how you relate. What Venus is asking today is simple. Show up with genuine interest in someone else's world. Your house of partnership is lit, and that means conversations can go deeper if you listen first. One practical step: reach out to someone whose perspective you value and ask them a real question about what they are building. Then listen without planning your reply. This is how you strengthen the ties that sustain you through seasons of steady work. The day is yours to shape. Shape it kindly. Pisces, your inner work deepens today as the moon moves into your house of career and public standing. Yesterday, the moon opened in your house of philosophy and long vision, asking you to trust the unfolding path. Today, that trust becomes action in the world. Your ruling planet Jupiter, exalted and powerful, casts its full ninth aspect into your house of creativity and children, Pisces, blessing any work that flows from your imagination. This is not a day for grand gestures. Instead, you are called to tend what matters quietly. At work, Mercury in your house of home and foundation supports clear thinking about what you truly need. In your relationships, Venus in your house of service asks you to show care through small, steady acts. Your energy today favors the patient hand and the listening heart. Compassion and imaginative depth are your native language, and they are exactly what this moment asks of you. As you move through your day, notice where someone near you needs a quiet word or a simple gesture of presence. Offer it freely, not for return, but because it is the truest thing you can give. Walk gently today and let the day come to you. May the clarity you found in today's sky settle into your choices, your conversations, and your quiet moments, carrying you forward with steadiness and grace. The stars are always moving, always speaking, and there is real wisdom in listening to them alongside your own good sense. If today's sky was useful, subscribing keeps it coming every morning.